Warning, this podcast contains themes of extreme violence and murder. Subject matter may be offensive to some listeners. Discretion advised.
Welcome to another episode of Evil Transgression, your homicide headquarters here in podcasting.
Homicide.
I'm Josh, and with me as always is Dustin and Rex.
You guys made this super weird.
Hey, what's up?
All right, now that everybody's turned this off, and it's just us.
Well,
So be it.
if that's the case, we'll talk about the experience.
I just like how when I did that, you looked up and kind of blinked your eyes and smiled.
It makes me smile. It did, I wasn't expecting it, but
Yeah.
when it came,
Came hard.
it came hard.
It's almost like you guys used to touch each other back in like 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah, that's about when it started.
What's your point?
We learned from each other.
Yeah.
Learning is earning.
We learned how to cook sausage in our home ec class.
Quite literally.
Oh,
That was the first bad grade I ever got. Was home ec. You believe that?
I can believe that.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because you're dumb.
Oh, that's nice.
What part of that's the first bad grade I ever got?
Just because you make knives doesn't mean you
I make lives.
can
Yes.
cook a thing of pancakes.
Dude, my dad was livid at me. Was livid when I brought home. It was a C. It was the first C I ever got.
Oh, yeah.
Brought home a C in home ec. And he berated me and said a lot of
Still
things.
on a roll.
He said a lot of things that would be censored today in today's society. For getting a C. He's like, you don't know how to you don't know how to sew a button on? I'm like, actually, Dad, I have no clue how to do that. Like, that is not my job. Like, at
that's
no
awesome.
point was I ever like, I need to learn how to sew a button on.
Right.
I actually got in trouble for the first time at home ec. No comments. Or not no comments, but like little comments that I didn't mean any harm with.
Yeah.
Like, we made no-bake cookies one time. Well, no one told me you got to put freaking no-bakes in the oven.
Yeah.
Then why are they called no bakes?
Now you
Exactly.
see what I'm saying?
You don't put them in the oven.
Kind of do.
You put them in the fridge.
Well, so maybe that's why I got to see. Oh.
Yeah, because I thought you just mixed them in the pot and then put them out and let them cool off.
That's why
Yeah,
I got
then
to
you-
see.
Yeah.
Because you
put
put
'em
your
in the
no
oven.
bakes in you baked your no bakes.
I was like, this is stupid. You don't make it and not put it in the oven. They're no bakes. Not no more they ain't.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still don't know how to sew a button.
No,
Yeah.
you know I got in trouble one time in 7th grade. 'Cause I told my teacher, "Hey, I gotta pee," and she was like, "No," and I was like, "Okay." Well, then the tornado thing went off. We went, and guess where our place was? In the bathroom.
You peed while
And the
everyone
whole class was in the bathroom, so I was like, "I gotta pee," and she said no again. So I was like, "Okay." So I just started peeing in the urinal with the whole class in the bathroom. She was.
You didn't get stage
pissed.
fright?
No. Why would I?
Because it's so small? I don't know.
Exactly. I already knew. I already came to terms with how small it was.
Here's the worst part of that story. Like, I understand all your end of it, but my brain went instantly to it's a tornado drill. What do you do during a tornado drill?
Sit down and tuck your head in between your arms
so you
or whatever.
sit down and tuck your head. You're in the bathroom, dude. And nobody's got good aim at pissing and 7th grade or
Right.
or
Yeah.
elementary or whatever.
I was in a urinal.
You can go in a grown man restroom right now and be like, man,
Oh,
who
there's piss
pisses
everywhere.
all over the
It's
place.
disgusting.
Like, you need. There's times where I go at work and I'm like, they need to set out a memo like everybody's got to sit down to piss from now on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sit down to pee
Yeah.
because if you're pissing on the back wall,
Yeah.
you don't know how to control that thing.
I really get pissed off when I'll go to a public stall and see that the lazy ass couldn't even lift up the seat, just pissed all over the seat.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you right now, we just earned a lot of credit with our female listeners
Yeah.
because they're like, I've been trying to tell them this for years. But I gotta agree with you, man. I got boys at home, and I'm like, hey, you guys are gonna go in there and clean that bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna clean it.
Yeah. Start making them sit.
That's what needs to happen. And
Hey, I'm lazy.
a lot of
Sometimes
guys,
I sit.
yeah, a lot of guys are like, I'm like, I'm not gonna sit down to pee.
I mean,
That's such a girl thing.
they sit down to drop a deuce. What's the difference? You know?
I think let's start a movement.
If you want to be a man, stand up and shit.
Let's start a movement. The
Yes.
reverse. Everyone's got to start doing the reverse. Standing to poop. Sitting to
And
pee.
then women can stand to pee with a shiwi. I don't know if you ever seen that.
I did. Yeah. One of those little cups.
Yeah, it's like a cup. and-
covers their cooter.
Well, some of the women don't need a shiwi because they have a wee wee, so we're good.
So true.
With that said, it's time to do some funny evil names.
Nice.
Let's start with a gentleman, and I'm not even making this up. You're gonna think I'm making it up. This is legit. His name is Jack Me Off Mud.
Jack Me Off Mud.
Jack Me Off is his first name. Jack Me Off
Wow.
Mud. M-U-D-D.
That's kind of badass.
He was involved in numerous arrests, including assault, resisting arrest, and violation of alcohol laws such as open container in public and all that sweet jazz.
Wow.
I was really hoping he got arrested for jerking off in the mud.
Well, you can't blame him for going insane with a name like Jack Me Off Mud.
Right.
The next name,
Yes.
Connor Fudge. You're like, Connor Fudge. This can go a lot of ways,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit more obvious than what you think.
Okay.
Fudge was arrested for stealing from the Cold Stone ice cream place
Mm-hmm.
that he was hired at.
Oh, okay.
Just goes to show you that employees shouldn't be hired just because of their last name. Connor Fudge stole the fudge.
Better than packing it.
How about the name Cocaine Canty?
What? It's like spelled the same. Cocaine.
Cocaine Canty. C-O-C-A-I-N-E. Cocaine Canty.
What?
Gotta be a nickname.
That's a legit name, bro. That's his name.
That's crazy.
Tell me
He
he
was,
got arrested for smoking meth.
No, he was arrested for family violence.
Oh, God.
Okay.
That was a little turn of the worst. It was probably the cocaine that did it, but
Right.
now about nicknames, we have a Heather Marie Scannell. You're like, oh, that name sucks. Well, when you realize that her nickname in the joint is Chicken Dump, makes up for it.
Chicken dump.
Chicken Dump.
What?
Hey, where Chicken Dump be?
I want to know how you get that name.
I don't know either.
Does she
man.
shit like a chicken?
Yeah, maybe she got like chicken legs and
Chicken Dump.
the way she'd squat.
That's crazy.
That is.
Arrested for burglary. This name just for some reason doesn't sit well with me. The name's John Rott. R-O-T-T-E. John Rott. Arrested for cruelty to children. Old Johnny Rott.
Should have castrated him.
Yeah.
But for some reason, and I'm not sure why, some of the greatest names that I come across
Uh-huh.
aren't criminals.
Oh, really?
So, but I feel like if I don't include them in this, it would be an injustice.
Yeah.
So there's a dermatologist, a certified dermatologist, a doctor with an MD, who went to the Chicago Medical School in 1985. His name is Dr. James B. Grossweiner. Old Dr. Grossweiner.
Awesome.
I mean, imagine going to that doctor. Where are you going? What doctor do you see? Grossweiner.
Perfect.
Ew, Grossweiner.
You know he got made fun of.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the picture of this guy, you can tell he was made fun of.
Oh,
For sure.
Yeah. Dr. Grossweiner. Gross Wiener.
Wiener.
And I could not leave out a lawyer for her fantastic name. She is of Asian descent,
Uh-huh.
and her name is Sue Yu. Sueyyoo.
Wow.
Sue Yu.
Sue you.
Sue You's gonna sue you.
Legit name. I mean, like I said, why can't these people be criminals too? Because I just feel out of place putting them in here. But
Yeah.
if I left them out, I'd feel even more out of place. Dr. Grossweiner and Sue Yu.
Sue you. I sue you.
I sue you, Grossweiner. So that is your funny, evil names for the day.
Jesus.
Yes.
We have a story today that's probably gonna make you feel a little odd. And the reason being is because this type of evil is a rarity. At least I hope it is,
Uh-huh.
to come in such a young package. So buckle up, Evil Mob, as we discuss Craig Price. Craig Price was born October 11th, 1973 in Warwick, Rhode Island. To say his childhood was tumultuous would be an understatement.
That's a big word.
You know the people along the East Coast like that, like New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maine, are all booger eaters, right? Just letting you know.
Huh.
That's messed up.
Wow.
So you've just cost us half our audience.
Yep.
But
No, they
Pretty
know.
much.
They know.
No, they know. Okay.
Craig Price racked up quite the rap sheet in a short amount of time as a young lad, with crimes such as breaking and entering, robbery, stalking, drugs, and assault.
Ooh.
And all of this is before he became a teenager.
That's crazy.
Although he had a real criminal rap sheet at such a young age, he was described by others as a good-humored, lively young man.
Really?
So yeah, he's a straight-up criminal, but damn, is he funny.
He's out there doing B&Es.
That Craig, man, he is just good humor, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he stole all my shit, but
He made me laugh.
he funny, bro. On July 27th, 1987, Craig Price, who was just 13 years old, broke into his neighbor's house late at night. 27-year-old Rebecca Spencer was asleep when Price attacked her with a knife from her own kitchen.
Ooh.
Price stabbed Rebecca Spencer 58 times, killing her.
What?
Jesus.
You still think he's a good-humored young man?
No.
Price fled the scene. When Rebecca Spencer's body was found murdered, fear encapsulated the community. The brutality of the murder was unheard of in this area, and many could not imagine the type of monster that would stab a young woman 58 times. Despite major efforts to find Rebecca Spencer's killer, the case went cold. Craig Price had pretty much gotten away with murder. Price would lay low for a couple of years until September 1st, 1989. At this time, Craig Price was just a 15-year-old high school freshman. So after getting high on marijuana and LSD, Craig Price decided to do another crime.
Uh-oh.
And let's be honest here. He may have gotten away with the first murder having lived only 2 houses away from Rebecca Spencer, Price decided to push his luck and commit his next murder again in his own neighborhood.
Wow.
Again, Price broke into another house belonging to the Heaton family with the intention of robbing it. This time, when he got inside, he was confronted by 39-year-old Joan Heaton. Price panicked and began to beat and strangle Joan. During this, her screams woke up her young daughters, 10-year-old Jennifer and 7-year-old Melissa. Like last time, Price took knives from the kitchen and stabbed all 3 of the victims. Joan Heaton, the mother, was stabbed 57 times.
Wow.
10-year-old Jennifer was stabbed 62 times.
What?
And the youngest, 7-year-old Melissa, was stabbed 30 times and had her skull crushed by a kitchen stool.
Oh, that is terrible.
The stabbings were so brutal and intense, the handles had actually broken off of the knives and the blades were left inside the bodies.
Oh, wow.
That is freaking insane.
It is, yeah.
Can you imagine the actual force needed to do something
Oh,
like
I
that?
know. Yeah, psycho.
During the murders, Craig Price had actually cut his hand. That's not too hard to imagine if you're stabbing someone with that much force.
I hope that means some blood was left there on the scene.
Well, you figure why it happens, though, is the amount of blood like that gets on your hands and your hand slips on the knife and cuts yourself. Well, not so much for the DNA evidence here, because, I mean, it's a common occurrence for people to cut their hands during a stabbing, especially one of that type of...
That brutal.
brutal. Yeah. But Price fled the scene again, so he gets away there. But the FBI was called in this time because of the similarities between the Heaton murders and Rebecca Spencer's murder. This led them to believe they were dealing with the acts of a serial killer, which, you know, they're not wrong. They are dealing with serial killer.
Right.
Investigators came to the conclusion that the killer was someone who lived in the neighborhood, given the distance between the 2 crime scenes. They also knew that whoever had killed the Heatons had injured their hand.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So with that, the police started interviewing those in the neighborhood. On September 5th, 1989, 2 detectives sat down with Craig Price. During the questioning, they noticed that he had a cut on his hand, which Price claimed that he had gotten while he was drunk. So the detectives decided to give Craig the old polygraph test, which he failed miserably.
Nice.
After failing said test, a search warrant was issued for his house where they found bloody knives and clothing.
Oh, okay.
During the interrogation that followed, Craig Price confessed to the murders without remorse, even mimicking the sounds of the girls he had killed.
Wow.
Now keep in mind, Craig Price is still a minor, and according to Rhode Island law, at the time, he couldn't face trial or be imprisoned.
What?
This is 1989. Wow. 1989,
That's
not
insane.
1889.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
well, you know, he's a minor, so we can't put him on trial or imprison him.
Terrible.
So with this, Price was sent to a juvenile correctional institute called the Rhode Island Training School, where it was placed in the maximum security wing called the Youth Correctional Center. So although they can't quote unquote imprison him, they put him in this mental, I don't even know how to explain it. Not in a mental hospital,
Like a detention?
but it's like to help him evidently get over whatever's bothering him.
Yeah.
Now tell me again how people from Rhode Island ain't booger eaters. They do stuff like that.
I guess.
Price was to be held there for 5 years, ending on his 21st birthday. Now keep in mind, this dude has killed 4 people.
Right.
Brutal, in a brutal manner. So they're like, we're going to keep you for 5 years. As you can imagine, the family of the victims were not happy, along with many other residents of Rhode Island.
I bet.
I just want to take a step back and remind you that Craig Price showed no remorse for the murders he committed. And as for the motive, Price claimed racism by white people beginning when he was a young child was a factor, and that the first time he wanted someone to die was when a group of white adults allegedly shouted racial slurs at him and tried to run him over with their car when he was a young boy. So just be kind to everybody.
Yes.
I mean, otherwise you might create a killer.
Yes.
During Price's time at the correctional center, he refused to discuss the murders and refused any treatment as well, claiming it would only result in being institutionalized longer. I personally think he has that ass backwards, but like I've said many times,
Yeah.
I'm not the law. Despite his refusal to talk about the murders or accept treatment, Price is said to have had good behavior there, as he spent his time completing his GED and actually taking some satellite college classes.
Wow.
Cool. You got your GED. You're being good. Great.
Yeah.
But you're still a freaking murderer. You still kill 4
Right.
people.
In fact, the correctional center was so impressed with Craig Price, they approved him to counsel other residents in the facility and to perform minor security duties.
What?
That's smart.
Ever heard the phrase, "Don't let the inmates run the prison"?
Yes.
Well, Rhode Island apparently hadn't.
Huh.
When word of Price's special treatment got out, further outrage from the public and family members of his victims ensued.
I don't blame him.
A campaign to stop his release was formed by the Assistant Attorney General, the police captain who had led the investigation of the Heaton's murder, and Joan Heaton's mother and sister. This campaign led to the passage of a bill that gave the acting Attorney General the power to commit a mentally ill person to a mental health institution if he or she posed a threat to society. This even garnered the attention of the President of the United States at the time, Slick Willie, Bill Clinton. Things got complicated for Price when he was sent to trial on October 3rd, 1994, for simple assault and extortion after he threatened to kill an employee of the correctional center.
What?
He's a good dude.
Oh, yeah.
During the cross-examination at the trial by prosecutors, Craig Price let his true colors show as he burst into a fit of rage, claiming that everyone was lying just to keep him locked up. This caused the end of the trial, and he was sentenced to 15 years. So they're like, we're going to add him on somewhere or another. But that's not all the trouble of Craig Price. In February of 1996, Craig was involved in a prison fight where he ended up biting a guard who was trying to break it up.
What?
This earned him another year added to his sentence. From October 1998 to July 2009, Price was involved in 4 more assaults on guards, each of which earned him more time on his prison sentence. Over the years, Price was moved to the Sawney Correctional Institution in Live Oak, Florida. I'm sure I probably butchered that.
It's all good.
Suwannee. On April 4th, 2017, Craig Price was accused of stabbing another inmate, Joshua Davis, with a 5-inch homemade knife. He was sentenced to 25 years for that crime on January 18th, 2019. Craig Price is currently at the Florida State Prison in Rayford, Florida, where his current possible release date is May 8th of 2044.
Wasn't this dummy only supposed to be in there until he was 21?
Yeah. So Craig Price would be 70 years old if he gets out on May 8th, 2044.
Damn.
Wow.
So just to get your thoughts, what do you think happens if a campaign to keep this guy from getting out doesn't happen and Craig Price is released from custody of the state at the ripe age of 21?
I think he kills a lot more people.
Oh, a ton.
100%.
Yep.
You figure he was doing it in prison
Right.
Right.
while trying.
Yep.
Thankfully, he wasn't able to kill any of the guards or the guy that he stabbed with a 5-inch freaking homemade
Right.
knife.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you, He's a man of blades.
Yes.
So what do you got for me, Rex?
All right, go to our Facebook page, give us a like. Any comments, questions, or ideas, you can email us at eviltransgression@gmail.com.
Please, leave us some reviews.
Wow, please.
We need them. Without reviews, we are nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't start getting reviews, we're going to go to once a year podcast.
Huh. Wow.
Just kidding.
Once a year.
What?
One episode a year, July 1st
Ooh,
of
okay.
every year.
Why that date?
Because it's the middle of the year.
Actually, June 1st.
June 1st will be the middle.
Do the math.
Okay, like June 15th.
But yeah, leave us some reviews. Check out the website, eviltransgression.com. Check it all out.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
I don't have nothing to add with that,
Okay. That's perfect.
other than the fact that I love you guys, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love you a whole bunch. I don't know what you're sticking your fingers up for.
I don't know.
Because I'm about to shove them in your ass.
I guess it's time to go.
Wow.
So until next time,
See ya.
See ya.
peace.